Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we have a special topic, but really important one for this time. The name of this video is that they are leaving you because your time has come. So if you find yourself at a phase of your life where you're noticing that many people are falling out of your life, this video will explain to you why it is happening and why it's not a bad thing, but actually a process of evolution of your own character, your own ability and capability of self-expression, self-realization, and greater manifestation of greater relationships that are about to happen in your life. Once we understand that the time that we are perceiving is so much different when we look at our timeline from a different perspective. Let's say if you look into your life the way that you're living day by day, you will notice that each 24 hours may seem a lot, but if you're thinking about 10 years into future or 20 years into future, you notice that 1 year is a glimpse in your personal evolution. So before we start, I want to read something to you that I wrote today, and I feel like anyone who's watching this video may resonate with this so much at this point of this year. So it goes like this. This year, you've changed so much that it's almost hard to recognize you. You've transformed pain into process, mess into a message, and trauma into growth. With that, you're ending old cycles and are opening doors of many new opportunities. Expect them with gratitude for its excitement and bliss, my friend. You deserve the best, and nothing but the best is now heading towards you. So, if this resonates with you, hit the like button, my friend, because it helps to bring this message to more people that needs to see it. And for that, I'm grateful to you. So, some of this, gentle positivity to start a day, right? So, if you're at a point of your life where you're noticing that some people are falling out of your life, it may be some close relationships, maybe some business partners, or certain family members are not, resonating with you, or you're not resonating with them, and you feel like there's a sense of distance happening in between, know that it's okay. We're all here, firstly, meant to evolve personally and individually, to find our own individuality that was lost in this matrix system where everyone is trying to be a copy of someone else. But through the phases of awakening, we start to become more aware of the uniqueness of our own individuality, where we start noticing that even though we've been through hard times and we've been traumatized and we've been through pains and we've been through failures and so on, we notice there's a beauty within us, that maybe it was hurt at hard times, or maybe it was suppressed because we didn't want to be hurt anymore. We've suppressed it, but there's something unique about it, and you've come to the realization where you wanted to discover what is that beauty of yourself. You don't want to be just another human, right? You want to be a unique human being, embodying your individuality, finding your talents, finding your gifts, finding the value and meaning behind your unique fingerprint. And as you've started researching that, you've noticed, that path of self-research and eventually self-realization, self-actualization starts to acknowledging you with some new information. And that new information that starts awakening our awareness and consciousness, expanding it and stretching it in all kinds of directions, awakens a great sense of enthusiasm within ourselves. We all start to feel really enthusiastic about this research when we go through this spiritual awakening. It looks like a major breakdown happens, something happens in our life, something heavy. Then in the midst of this breakdown, at some point we have to release. Ego needs to release its tension so we can open up to what we may call divine intervention, right? When we don't know what to do, we feel completely powerless, helpless. At some point, ego finally eases up, releases the tension. And what happens after that is what many would call a moment of magic. Because we recognize, well, as soon as we let go of this strong holding to safety, to security, to the known, to fear of whatever, when we let go of it, something happens through us eventually that raises us up to much higher level than we've been ever before. And it introduces us to new understandings of ourselves. We recognize whatever religion was all about, whatever these ancient texts and ancient philosophies were all about, we start to experience it. Whatever it was taught in all these different ancient teachings, we experience it internally. When we experience what some people call God and what some people call universe or universal, divine intelligence, we experience it because there is no other way to explain what happened to us than something moved through us and introduced us into greater degrees of who we are. But it changes us. Once our mind expands with a new knowledge, we can't go back into an old way of living. We can't go back into an old way of seeing life, right? Also, our self-expression changes. Our body language changes. We start to noticing the depth of our psychology, the depth of our emotionality, the depth of our creativity and imagination. As we start exploring these depths, we become quite deep divers within our own beingness, right? And as you start researching that, sure, you become enthusiastic about it. Sure, you want to talk about it. Sure, you want to make sure everyone else would experience what you have experienced as well. You want to give these feelings of bliss to others, but when people are not ready around you, they will feel like you're going crazy. They will feel like, what's wrong with you, right? They will feel like you've eaten up some weird stuff, right? And at some point you recognize that maybe what you have experienced, most people around you are not ready for this yet. So what happens, you've opened doors for new opportunities that are about to find you. But first you have to walk through these doors, usually in solitude, and usually you recognize your time has come to evolve, to step outside of the box of average, and let's see what else can happen if you embody this, what ancient philosophers would call a sense of courage. When you embody this courage, like Plato said, courage means knowing what not to be afraid of. So you recognize, you start, building this sense of discernment, what not to be afraid of. What is, your human fear, where you have to protect yourself so you don't, die. And what are those mental fears that are meaningless when you walk the path of evolution and expansion of your own consciousness? So we recognize, okay, these fears are an illusion, and to recognize what kind of illusion they are, you start questioning them and doing more of the things you've been afraid of before, like exposing yourself to a fear of loss, to a fear of death, or to a fear of going through another financial crisis or whatever, just to recognize how much those fears are controlling your behaviors. A fear of being alone, for example, noticing how much you're being afraid of being alone until you become more familiar with your own inner quietness, and you recognize that you're never alone because this quietness is so infinite, and it just happens that whatever question you have, that quietness will answer to you with wisdom. So you notice, well, maybe even loneliness is nothing else but great illusion that needs to be enlightened with our own experience that can usually happen only in solitude. That's why so many people say that solitude is that greatest phase of our lives where we reach enlightenment, because it's hard to be enlightened just by hearing words of others or reading a book from someone or indulging in any external information without having internal experience of it. So your time has come to get into this path of internal growth, internal healing, internal evolution, eventually expansion. And therefore, people stopped resonating with you. People can't talk with you about celebrities anymore, about, I don't know, games and whatever. They've stopped resonating with you. They've noticed something changed. Even though you can fake that you're still interested in old stuff, they feel that something is different about you. And I think it's something to celebrate, because most of those people were just your distraction, and you're ready for new relationships. You're ready for deeper degrees of real love that is about to find you. People who are on a level of love, who are on a level of trust, who are on a level of joy, of awe, of reverence for yourself and for life, those are the new people that will enter into your life. But at the same time, you have to become that version of yourself. You have to embody this new energy, as we like to say, the energy of the new you. The new you, the freshness of yourself. And freshness is, like going on vacation. Oh, I will experience something new. There's awe to it, right? I will experience new places. There's reverence to those experiences. I want to be fully present there. I will experience some growth. Well, there's some excitement there, right? And then the magic happens once we start living our days like that. Waking up, oh, there's some excitement today. There's some growth today. Oh, amazing. There's something to create. Oh, passion is being born. Let's create it. Let's be creative. There's some new people to meet. Oh, let's deepen up these connections, right? There's some great enthusiasm for building new relationships. So it's all about tapping into this new energy of yourself, energy of passion, energy of deeper love, energy of enthusiasm, energy of passion, energy of being grounded, being stable like a tree, finding different tools and methods and meditations and whatever can help you to be grounded, to be quiet. Don't just talk much, also learn to be quiet and listen. Be a good listener, right? We have one mouth and two ears, which makes us better listener than talkers. So we recognize, oh, let's use what I have. Let's use my senses. Let's get back to my senses. And you recognize actually your senses are expanding and becoming more sensitive. There's beauty to it. You are becoming more sensitive to light, to colors, to sounds, to thoughts, to feelings, to emotions. You're becoming more sensitive, which means more in tuned. More we are evolving spiritually, more in tuned we are becoming. And to be in tune means that you become more precise about what you're in tuning to, what you're syncing with. You become more precise, and that precision makes you a better or more skillful at expression, right? To become a good channel of this creative force that moves through you, you first need to have a precision for sensing what you're sensing. For in alchemy, these higher thoughts were called crystallized thoughts. They were usually painted or drawn like eyes with wings. Some would think those are painted angels, but I usually represented them as crystallized thoughts. That's what you start channeling when you purify your mind, you purify your system, you become more stable, and you start recognizing the difference between the voice of your ego and the voice of this higher intelligence, your higher self. you recognize that there's divineness to it. And as you start evolving in this direction, your energy changes really a lot. What happens, fear starts losing its grip, something we've been talking yesterday. And during this process, as you become less fearful, you become more trustful, but not naive. You're not naive anymore because you understand what to trust. You know what's worthy of your trust, not just everything. Because naivety comes out of fear. We're afraid of losing whatever finds us, so we become quite naive to everything just so we will not lose it again, so we will not be lonely again, so we'll not be broke again or whatever. When we trust that life moves through us and life makes sure that we become the greatest version we can be because there's something that needs to be expressed uniquely through us. You're here for a reason. You recognize that you've been always here for a reason. So you will not just disappear. You came here to be here. And because you came here to be here, you came here to bring something that can only come through you here. And once you recognize that, you notice that at some point you can't do it alone. And that's where the magic or magical connection starts happening. Once you recognize that there's a deep purpose to whatever you're doing, at some point you will notice you can't do it alone. And that's where you recognize the real meaning of relationships. The real meaning of relationships is that people come together because together they are stronger on that whatever purpose that they have. Because me and Maya are together now for 12 years. And what we're seeing now in recent years, we're noticing, well, alone I could not do what I'm doing. She alone would not be able to do what she's doing. But together we're building up on this purpose. But in last years, we've started meeting so many people who came into our lives to fulfill this purpose, to connect, to help us build what we are building, to help people around the world. So this is the real divine meaning behind relationships. And once we understand that, we recognize, well, all these meaningless relationships in the past have no place for us in the future because we are here with purpose. And purpose needs to be firstly discovered by us. We have to recognize why we are here at the first place. Then we need to embody it. We need to become really good at it. We need to trust that at the right time, the right person will find us. And once we embody this trust, it's not like saying, yeah, I trust, but inside you feel fear. It's like knowing that it will happen at the right time. And if you know, you do what's in your power to do. Everything you can to keep up with that purpose. And as you're keeping up, at the right time, the right connections will happen and you will feel these people because so many synchronicities will align between you. So many synchronistic events will happen with names, with numbers, with hobbies, with thoughts, with whatever, and you will know this is the right thing to do. You will know this is something that needed to happen. You will know that. So it's your time, my friend, to know these things because people needed to fall out of your life. People needed to go into their own direction or stay where they are, and you needed to evolve because you felt this deep calling. Embrace it fully right now because the world is changing, your life is changing, so much good opportunities is about to find you, but you have to stay patient. And the best way or the easiest way to stay patient is to stay focused on what you love to do and keep doing what you love to do, but also take care of the things that need to be taken care of so you can do what you love to do, right? Make sure that the polarity is taken care of. Life always has two sides until we tap completely into unity, but we are not there yet. So make sure you take care of the polarities of your life. If you want to do more of what you love, you sometimes also need to do more of what you don't like until you will be able to discover a person that can take care of the things you don't like to do, and you can do more of what you love to do. And everything will happen at one point, so just keep going, my friend. This is it for today. I hope you found something valuable. I'm sending you lots of love Blessings and power, my friends. I love you all. Leave the comment down below of what you found valuable in this video, because I love to read this. And to anyone who would love to support my art, you can find the link in the description of this video to our Etsy store, AttractPassion. This is the last day of a sale we are running, so go there and check it out. Until next time, one love.